Intelligence is back on Philippine television. The iconic host of the 90s intercollegiate quiz show Battle of the Brains, legendary quiz master David Celdran, makes a comeback with Bilyonaryo Quiz B, a brand new competition designed for the digital age. He joins us this morning to tell us all about it. Please say hello to David Celdran, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, David,
Good morning.
and welcome
to
the show.
There's a big prompter in front of me. It's a beautiful day. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, intelligence is back, but not because I'm back. I mean, that's not the point of the line.
Yes.
The show, the whole, the whole idea of bringing back an academic quiz show where college students compete with each other. That's what we mean by intelligence is back. People might be thinking I'm saying David Celdran is back. No, that's not true.
But David, for those who don't know, let's try to fill that generation gap. Take us down memory lane when you hosted Battle of the Brains from 1992 to 2001.
Okay, you're probably you weren't born yet?
I was born 93.
I was asking Paolo in the makeup room. He said, I think I was born
Yeah,
before.
I was 2 years old when the first show
So there you
came
guys
out.
were in preschool. This is like a 90s era kind of trivia question. You know you grew up in the 90s if you knew Battle of the Brains.
Yes,
Because then you would have been either forced to watch by your school or you would have competed or had someone you knew who competed. But it was a tough show to mount even in those days. We're sandwiched in between these really big noontime entertainment shows on the major networks, and we were like this small quiz show on RPN 9 back then, which no longer exists, of course, in name. So it went on from pretty much the entire 90s decade, and it had elementary, high school, and college, and it was iconic because it was not a first of its kind. There have been many quiz shows in the past, but it was iconic in the sense that it lasted so long, number one. Number two, it was true to its mission of really being academic. So it's kind of tempting to pander to the audience and come up with some really silly questions and all that stuff. So it was trying to be entertaining, but trying to be cutting edge in terms of the information. Yeah, this is like, I think our grand finals, if I'm not mistaken, in the first year. And a lot of those guys have turned out to be quite popular people, successful in their fields. We were getting the best and the brightest of each of the schools, and we were nationwide. I mean, we had schools from Mindanao, Visayas, so it was a true national collegiate program.
I'm sorry, I'm looking back at this and I'm thinking, wow, you age beautifully.
I thought, look at the vintage clothes, vintage hairstyles. But it's back. 90s are back.
The quiz show format. A lot of it depends on the quiz master, and that leads me to the question. Really, just how did you get that gig? What was your first thought when you were asked?
Yeah, I know, surprised. I mean, I wasn't a bad student. I mean, I was in the honor section in high school, in elementary. I was in UP Diliman. But I wouldn't be considered like a genius, not at all. Until today, I don't consider myself a genius. But I'm a very curious person. I love reading. And I guess communication skills are important. Pat Sajak of Jeopardy, for example, maybe couldn't answer all the questions that he asks. So, the quiz master doesn't come up with the questions himself. But he has to know enough to be able to kind of fill in the blanks, provide context to the questions. So it could have been anyone else, Paolo, but they chose me.
No, that's perfect. We actually saw Sam Versosa there as part of the list there.
He was the champion in the high school category in his time.
Yeah, so I feel like if we go back and look at the old episodes, we're gonna find more familiar names there as well. It seems so fantastic.
It's funny. People come up to me and say, "I used to be your contestant." And they're like vice presidents. They're like in government, high-ranking government officials. I mean, when you think about it, these are the best and brightest students nominated by their schools. And a lot of these were like, the best public high schools, the best private schools. And if you were nominated by your principal or by your teachers, you had a career ahead of you, for sure.
You had something going. I mean, let's fast forward to today. I want to ask you, how do you feel about making this comeback, especially here in the Bilyonaryo News channel? Because I feel like in Philippine television, there's not much trivia games, right? So I feel like it's a good thing as well for the younger generations to watch. Like I grew up watching. Not here in the Philippines, but in the US, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Jeopardy, and I love just learning about stuff, like random stuff.
I'm
So-
excited for sure,
Yeah.
especially since, if you go back to the 90s and you fast forward to today, as you asked, there's a dividing line, the information age,
Yes,
the age of the
yes.
internet. In the 90s, most students didn't have access to the internet,
Yeah.
Right.
not even to a laptop.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, in the 90s,
Yes.
did you have your own laptop?
Encyclopedia, nung time na
Yeah,
yun, right?
encyclopedia.
You were using a modem to connect to the World Wide Web,
Yes.
which was really slow.
Slow.
Yeah.
And not just that, you didn't have the Wikipedias, you didn't have all this
Yeah,
information
yeah.
at your fingertips.
Yep.
I want to see what students today are like now that they have literally any information, all information, in their fingertips.
Yeah.
And AI
Especially
Yeah.
does such a
yeah.
great job of providing answers. But then again, not everything you read or watch on the internet is factual.
That's
That
right.
becomes
Yes, yes.
the interesting thing.
Yes.
There used to be a consensus on what was true before. We had Encyclopedia
Yes.
Britannica with all these
Yeah.
things. And whether they were true or not, that was our basis for what was true, at
Yes.
least historically or scientifically. Today, it's like there's so many rival explanations, so many rival truths, so to
Yeah.
speak. So really, like your conversation earlier, I was listening and like, everyone has their own truth, and I think
That's true.
that's going to be quite a challenge in this year's competition, considering, we're going to have to be sure our research is good.
Yeah, parang ang daming reality.
At ang daming updates. No?
That's true.
Yeah,
History is always updated.
Yeah.
What was true in the 90s, suddenly a new archaeological find would say that it's no longer true.
Like
Right.
one of my favorite ones is when people discovered that Pluto's no longer considered a planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if
stuff
you
like
grew
that,
up if you grew up right after World War II, you had a different truth to that.
Yeah.
Than today.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's just this recent discovery about the pyramids, for example, and like it's debatable, but who knows? I mean, in 5 years from now, we might have a different idea of what those pyramids were really about.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing about having quiz shows. Really, they're like time capsules, right?
Yeah.
Of what was considered factual
Right,
Yeah.
right.
in that decade.
In a certain period
Right.
of time. That's
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different generation now, from the last time that you hosted Battle of the Brains. This batch of students that are going to be joining Quiz B is a totally different generation. And you mentioned it's the digital age, right? What excites you about this new batch of students? And what are you expecting from them as well?
I have no idea what to expect in the sense that my expectations are high because, again, I didn't grow up with the internet.
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
have access to all the information.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram. There's just so much information in there.
Yeah.
Whether it's garbage or whether it's precious. But this is an information savvy generation, and I want to know if access to information itself is enough to make you intelligent. Because my feeling is it's more than just access. My feeling is you have to have the critical analysis.
Yes.
You have to have the ability to ask the right questions. It's like I throw you into a library. And if you don't know what you're looking for, the library is useless, right?
Actually.
Right,
If I put a
yes.
computer in front of you, and you don't know what questions to ask, even AI is useless. AI is a tool,
Yeah.
right? So this is a generation that grew up with a lot of information, but is it enough to get, is it enough to really be considered intelligent just because you have access?
Yeah, so the show will be telling. So I'm excited
Hopefully,
to see.
yeah.
And also, they're bombarded with so much information, and everything's like encapsulated in a very short form kind of media, right? So it also affects their attention span and everything. Plus, to filter which ones are real, and then which ones are actually fake
because
information.
even Wikipedia is debatable. I mean,
Yeah.
the model of Wikipedia in itself is supposed to be an ongoing debate. That's why you have editors.
You can
Yes,
always
yes.
edit
You can always edit, and
Yeah,
there's a lot
yeah.
of stuff that is propaganda that's that has
finds
to be
its way through,
verified.
yeah.
So it's not just a challenge to the students, I
Yes.
think, who'll be on the show. It's a challenge to us, our researchers, to make sure that the questions have definite answers.
Right,
These are
right,
not like debatable, open-ended, subjective questions.
Yeah, just looking at the entire history of it, we just talked about their year 7 at that point. But then you've done it for so many years. How would you say your time hosting originally the Battle of the Brains has affected you in your career? How has it changed your life in particular from a personal perspective?
Wow, never really asked myself that question. Because I've also had a career in the news.
Yes, you did, yeah.
Alongside Battle of the Brains. And I would say that it gives me I've always been, I think the show has given me this sense of really wanting to uplift the educational standards in the country, because I've seen the best and the brightest. And these kids can do it, given the right motivation, given the right environment, given the right training in school. And if these kids can do it, there's nothing special about them that would be different from maybe some other kid in a low-income community. And what has inspired me especially is some of the champions, if not many of the champions, come from the public school system. I'm not talking about the Manila Science and the Philippine Science schools. I mean, of course, that's obvious. No? But even like, provincial colleges, provincial high schools, provincial public schools. I mean, education is the great equalizer, as we like to say. And you just give them the same opportunities. I think they can compete with the best anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it's so interesting because one of the reasons why a lot of people are interested in a show of this nature at this point in time is because we've seen in certain other shows sometimes when trivia is being brought up, they're not necessarily trivia shows, but then when there are trivia segments in those shows, maraming nagva-viral na questionable answers to certain
my God,
things.
that's such an easy question. How could you give that answer?
Does that encourage you to do this better? I mean, I don't know. What's
Partly.
Yeah,
Although I think it's unfair to like judge those kids. No?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, those who aren't naman the valedictorians in their schools, right? I mean, they're just random contestants, and then you throw this question. The lights are on. They're not used to it.
Right.
Even I would have a hard time maybe answering. There's a showbiz idol in front of you. It's not fair to judge them, but I think intuitively we all know that there's a crisis in the country in terms of education, in terms of the kind of knowledge that is the standards of knowledge in education, and it's a very complex crisis that obviously we don't intend to fix with one show. If anything, I just want to say, in the Philippines especially, we look up to our athletes. We look up to our the UAP, for example, is like the biggest show, or the other leagues, for example. People follow them. There's a fan base. Same goes for Alex Ayala now, for example. Kaloy Yulo. Our showbiz, artistas and everything. I'd like us to have a culture where we also kind of look up to, academic
excellence.
Excellence and accomplishments. That if you're the Quiz B, Bilyonaryo Quiz B champion, you're like a rock star.
Exactly.
Ooh, that would be so interesting.
I'm excited for that.
You're like the cool guy in school,
right?
Not the nerd that that's ignored, right?
I mean,
it's the athletes that get all the attention,
right?
And why not these guys? Who,
if there's a UAP MVP, there's also the MVP in the Quiz B.
Bilyonaryo Quiz B. That's a great idea, actually.
Let's put them on a pedestal. Right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Honestly, I mean, like Paolo earlier mentioned, Sam Versosa used to be your contestant, and you've mentioned as well some became the vice presidents, and all that. Has there been one or like a few that you have kept in contact with?
Ooh, okay. On cue, Orion Doom Doom is I'm not in contact with him, but I see him on the internet. He's become such a resource person for constitutional reform. He's got a very interesting podcast, vlog, whatever. And many of them, come up to me. But do I have like a friendship? Maybe not. But I like that they come up to me when they see me and like, hey, I remember you. I was your contestant. I never made it that far, but I enjoyed myself.
Aw, that's sweet that they remember you. But what can we expect now for the Bilyonaryo Quiz B, and how is the format of the show? Is it similar?
Okay. I mean, first of all, I want to thank the producers of About the Brains who really paved the way for a show like this. Now. But of course, this is an entirely new show. It's Bilyonaryo, obviously. It's why we have Bilyonaryo. I wish we could give away $1 billion to the winner. Who knows?
Sasali
kami. I would apply in college again just to join and be a student and be eligible.
We're giving out $1 million pesos. We're giving out $1 million pesos. That's substantial for a college student.
Absolutely. That's a lot
and that's
more
just
than
that's just the grand prize, okay? I mean, as you rise up the ranks, elimination, semifinals, you earn a lot of money. But it's not about the money, of course. It's the prestige of being the champion of Bilyonaryo Quiz B. And it's going to be different. For one, it's shorter. It's 30 minutes.
Yes.
So it's quicker. Again, it's a new generation.
Yeah.
Okay. And second is, it's just going to be college students.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're also starting out, so we want to make sure we start out with getting college students. Eventually down the road, who knows? It's up to Bilyonaryo really and us to discuss. We were thinking about maybe opening it up to professionals.
Oh, that would be
Opening up
cool.
to journalists
Actually.
maybe.
Yeah.
Like the
that's
journalist
so
quiz B, you know,
That's-
like
oh,
Yeah,
that-
you should do different
That's
themed
super
ones.
interesting.
historians or scientists,
Yeah.
or you know, in other words, it's not necessarily just a college.
Yeah, it's open-ended.
It's open-ended, but for now, we're going to start with college students, and so far we have some really interesting applicants, which is why I think it's very important that you have me here, because the application period ends on Friday. It's April 4, the end of this week.
Yes, April
Yes,
4
Friday.
is Friday. Yes.
So we still have some slots open. So if you're watching, or you have children, you have friends, office mates, well, you got to be a college student though, but yeah, some people work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have a week left to apply. Just the QR code's on screen. I think the URL's on screen. The application forms are all there. We want to get the best, the brightest. And even if you don't feel you're the best and brightest, you know, why not, you know,
Yeah,
take a
just give
shot?
it a try.
Yeah.
You might turn out to be the best and the brightest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why
You never
surprise
know
yourself?
until you try.
Yeah.
Yeah. The legendary quizmaster himself, David Celdran, puts us to the test in this mini Quiz B on It's a Beautiful Day. Take it away, David.
Yeah, I know. We're all surprised, right? I mean, like, I come to the
Yeah.
studio expecting an interview, and like the producer comes up to me and says, "We're gonna do a surprise quiz show and test the
Oh my
knowledge of our anchors."
goodness.
And I'm like, "Okay, let me see the questions." And
Putting
let me
us
just
on
say,
the
these are not
spot
easy
like this.
questions.
Yeah.
But I think you're smart enough to answer these questions.
I'm sure
And the
you're
best part is
good.
it's a multiple choice quiz.
Multiple
So you
choice
can
is
just
life.
guess. Pwedeng hula, pwede chamba.
Oh my
Okay, and
gosh.
all right, just some basic mechanics before we start. Okay, so I just have to ask. This is not, by the way, what the show's gonna look like. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a lot more high tech than this. We got buzzers, we've got
Yeah,
you know
yeah, of course.
graphics
This
and
is
everything.
just our version
yeah,
of
this
it.
is
Yes.
it's a beautiful day's version,
Yeah.
and so I'm just gonna stand here, gonna ask you 8 questions.
my
Okay,
God. Oh my God.
and multiple choice. So when I'm done asking the question, just raise your hand. I know it's kind of low tech, no buzzers. First one to raise a hand, I call on you. If you're correct, then good for you, you get the point. If you're wrong, anyone can steal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if that person's wrong, the third anchor can steal.
Okay.
So Pao, Mo, and Anna, let's start. Okay, 8 questions. Let's begin with science, okay? Let's go back to your, this is probably late elementary, high school science. Okay.
My God.
Do you remember your periodical tables?
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
My daughter does. Can I call a friend?
What is the chemical symbol for gold? A, Ag, B, Au, C, Pb, D, Fe. Pao.
B.
B.
Yeah.
Au.
AU.
As in aurum. Au.
Yes.
Correct. That's correct.
Yes.
Whoa,
All right.
galing.
Wow.
Okay, well, first point goes to Pao. Not bad. Okay, science again. Let's see. Kung chamba lang yan. Okay. What is the powerhouse of the cell? Is it A, the nucleus, B, ribosome? I think you're first, Mo.
I'm gonna guess C, mitochondria.
Oh,
I
'cause
think
you
I
can see
know.
it. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I was like wondering, how did you know
Sorry.
that?
I know David's like, wait, he
haven't
looked at me
gone
when
to
I
C
raised
yet.
my hand. I'm so sorry. No,
You're correct.
Yeah.
And he said,
And you said that the system
Yeah.
of education in the U.S. is kind of... Yeah, mitochondria, okay?
Wait, so do we wait for you to finish the question first before we raise our
Okay,
hands?
sorry.
No,
Okay, all right. Okay,
Okay, okay.
because it comes out anyway, so what's the point?
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right.
No, okay.
No, let's just wait for you.
Yeah, let's just wait for
We'll wait
me
for you.
Sorry.
to finish the question, but
Yeah.
not the multiple choice.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait for you to finish the question.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 So that was correct. So that was okay. Mitochondria. That's right. Generates energy in the cell. Perfect.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Question number 3. This is on literature. Okay. Okay, it's a bit tricky. Who is known as the father of free verse? A. Is it T.S. Eliot? B. Walt Whitman?
Oh my
C. Robert
gosh.
Frost? D. John Keats? Free verse. This is sometimes subjective because depending on the source, but we went through the sources earlier, and only one name pretty much appears most of the time. Yeah, Mo.
I'm going to guess B.
B
Walt
is Walt Whitman.
No.
My captain, all that.
Yeah.
American poet. Correct. It is
Wow.
Walt Whitman.
Actually, thought it wouldn't have been Walt
3 out
Whitman.
of 3
I
so
was
far.
also
You guys are
thinking, yeah,
good.
Walt Whitman.
Okay, you guys are humble. You said, like, We have 3 correct answers. By the way, they don't have the answers.
Yes,
this is not
I know.
This is not reality TV, quote unquote. This is the real thing. Okay, next, mathematics.
Oh my God.
I give up now.
But it's mental mathematics, okay?
Okay.
And actually
Mental.
kind of like logic even. So if the probability of an event occurring is 0.25, what is the probability of it not occurring?
Okay.
So the opposite. A, 0.25, B, 0.50, C, 0.75, D, 1.
Right.
Oh my God.
Come on, it's just like, you know, kind of logic and power.
I'm going to go guess C.
75, because that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It is 75.
So as a communication major, that
We got
got me
nervous on
scared.
that. All of us
I
were like,
must say, I'm impressed. You guys are 4 for 4 so
All right,
far.
perfect.
Okay. You should do a competition with the other show on Bilyonaryo.
oh, we totally should do
Okay.
that.
That's a special episode.
Question number 5, science. What is the main, let me underline, main gas responsible for climate change or global warming? A, methane, B, carbon dioxide, C, nitrous oxide, or D, oxygen? Pao?
B, carbon dioxide.
That's correct, CO2, carbon dioxide. Of course, you could have said methane, it's also one of the gases,
Yeah.
but not the main gas.
Yeah.
The main gas that causes global warming is CO2. Okay, let's go to our next question in history.
What kind of history is this, though? Philippine history?
We'll find out.
World history.
Okay, world
The
history.
United Nations, wait, I want to make sure, okay, we're on the right page.
Oh my
The United
gosh.
Nations was founded in which year? Was it 1918, A, B, 1945, C, 1960, or D, 1975?
Oh my gosh.
I'll give you time, I'll give you
I
time.
don't know.
Think about it. What was happening the previous years that would have caused
I don't
the
know.
United Nations to be formed?
Yeah, 1918 was League of Nations. 1945 was after World War II. 1960 was
Like what world event was happened that would have needed the creation of this world body? So that the dates align with the
I'm
event.
so bad at
Maybe
dates kasi numbers eh. Let's just guess.
I don't think so, but maybe.
Let's just guess.
You go
Anna was
first.
No, because
Anna, go. Anna.
I'll guess. I think it's 1960. C.
1960. Okay, the age of decolonization.
Yeah.
Might have been a good
Cold
answer,
War, actually.
But no, that's wrong. Mo?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 1975. D.
1975. No, that's
No,
wrong.
it's 1945.
It's
D.
1945.
Yeah.
We gave
World War
it
II
to we gave it
happened,
to
right? Yeah,
Paulo
World War
because
II.
we
The
gave
aftermath of World War II.
I
There was a
thought it
need for a world body who
Yeah.
would bring, that would like
I was thinking the most
celebrate
recent.
peace and all that stuff.
Okay.
I thought it was 1950 actually, like
You're
top of my
close.
It's 1945.
Yeah.
That's soon.
'Cause-
That's soon after
World War
I didn't think it was that.
Japan and Germany had just
early.
surrendered in
Yeah.
45,
Okay.
and you have this October 24, 1945. In San Francisco.
I
It was
really thought
founded
it
in
was
San Francisco.
later.
Okay, let's go
Me
to the next
too.
one. Question number 7. This is world history. Oh, tama ba? Oh, let's update the scores.
I'm 0.
So Pao is 4 points, Mo is 2, Anna, you still have to answer.
Yeah. She'll get there. She'll get there.
Unahan kasi. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so next question is world history again. So
Okay.
Another year.
Okay, so
Paulo
Paulo
knows
knows
this.
this.
the
Yeah.
Berlin Wall fell in which year? A, 1987, B, 1989, C, 1991, D, 1993.
Girls.
No, ikaw na. We'll give this to you. The history
guess.
me.
I don't know.
They're all kind of close to each other, right? So it's tricky.
You can guess. Actually, I could be completely wrong. Kaya go ahead muna.
Of course, you guys weren't born yet. I was.
1987.
That's not correct.
Yeah. It's C, 1991.
That is wrong.
Wrong. There. Yeah. I knew it. Yeah. You're
Oh
right.
no, I will
Mo,
guess B.
You only have 2 left.
You have
B,
2 left.
1989.
That's
Because
correct,
I
that's
know,
correct.
because
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
born 93, so
Yeah.
that's my favorite year.
Yeah.
That's right, 1989. I
So
mean,
the world was trembling because I was on my way.
so
No,
1989.
you're right. 91. Yeah. I thought it was 90.
But tricky question because like some of those would be the fall of the Soviet Union.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But 89 was the reunification of Germany, the beginning of the reunification
Oh,
of
that's
Germany,
so
the fall of the
interesting.
Berlin Wall. All right, you guys are
goodness.
good. So, so let's invite our viewers to join Bilyonaryo Quiz B. Let's, Anne?
Well, of course, Bilyonaryo Quiz B happening very soon.
That's
we
right.
Flashed the
QR code
a while ago for those who want to apply.
Yeah, and it's actually so fun. We were so nervous, but it's actually fun. And you never know until you try. I had no idea I knew half the questions.
So you can still join. It's all until Friday. You can register for Bilyonaryo Quiz B.
Yeah, so we're gonna show the call for applications again on the screen. There it is. You can screenshot that right now. Send it to all your friends. Send it to those who want to compete for a chance to, and if I'm not mistaken, David, around $1 million pesos in terms of
just for the grand prize,
just
but
for the grand
a lot of
prize.
other cash prizes for the eliminations, semifinals. There are bonus rounds where you can earn more money, and of course, the prestige of being the first Bilyonaryo Quiz B champion.
Yeah, so college kids, sign up for this. You don't want to miss this at all.
That's right. If you're watching this is just a teaser.
Yeah.
In fact, these questions are a bit on the easy side for them, at least.
For them.
For them. This would be like maybe the easy round
Right.
questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Easy round questions and not even multiple choice.
Oh,
Yes,
So
exactly.
we're really testing the smartest kids on the block, so to speak.
Oh my
I am
goodness,
excited.
that's gonna be crazy.
I mean, this is tough. Like, we've been out of school for so long, right?
Yeah, it's been a
Ask us about
minute.
sports, about news, current
Yeah.
events. Of course, we can answer, right? But these are like high school questions, and you kind of like put in the back of your brain.
Right?
Yeah, it's so interesting. And if I'm not mistaken, do we have one more question or are we done?
We have one more question.
We have
I
one more
think we're
question?
done.
Okay,
good.
so
We're
let's
good.
do the score. So
We're
Pao
good.
is the
I think Pao won.
champion.
Oh, I'm
By
one score
one.
behind you.
Congratulations,
4,
Pao!
Mo, and 3.
So he wears glasses again.
I wore my glasses. Na-stress ako, guys, okay? I had to put on the glasses.
Because this was your idea.
When Mo came up with the third point, and I thought there was one more question, I actually got scared.
Actually, there was one more question, but I ran out of time.
Yeah.
I gave you carbon monoxide. I didn't raise my hand
No,
fast
carbon
enough.
dioxide.
Carbon
Yeah,
dioxide.
Maybe
Monoxide.
just for sayang, I like this question. For our viewers, maybe you can want to answer.
Okay,
Yeah,
Maybe you
sure.
want to answer.
Go,
Viewers,
go,
here's a
go.
question. We won't ask you to answer.
All right, go
We'll
ahead.
give them
Okay.
a few seconds to answer in their
All
own
right.
homes, in their own offices. Then I'll go back to you. Maybe you can just quickly
Okay.
answer. Okay, so the final question should have been, what is the largest desert in the world? Is it Sahara Desert A? Is it the Arabian Desert B? Is it the Gobi Desert C? Or is it the Antarctic Desert, letter D? Okay, think about it. Think about it. Anyone?
All right. Oh my gosh, I should know this, but I don't.
This is like geography.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And yeah, the interesting thing is you just have to like Siri or whatever, and it's just there
Right?
in
Yeah.
1 second.
Hey Siri, what's the largest?
But then this is why the show is so interesting, because it's like, sometimes we become so reliant
my
on
goodness.
Yeah, honestly.
on searches. And no. You're
Oh
not-
my gosh. All right. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here.
I'll go on all. Okay, Pao,
All
what's
right.
your guess?
Yeah. I'll go C. Go B.
Gobi Desert in China, Mongolia. You
Yeah.
and Anna,
Same, Gobi Desert.
Mo?
I'm gonna go A.
Sahara.
You're all wrong. It's the Antarctic
Antarctic.
Desert.
You see, I felt like
Feeling.
It's like a
So
trick question
yeah,
because
exactly.
it's cold.
Yeah.
But the desert doesn't have to be hot.
Yeah.
It just has to be like low precipitation
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Oh.
interesting.
Oh my gosh,
Interesting.
I
and
learned
interesting.
something today.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Again, that's the type of knowledge that you can get
Yeah.
in the Bilyonaryo Quiz B happening very soon. If I'm not mistaken, you get to work after the Holy Week period.
That's right. So
Yes.
in May, we'll announce the dates. But yeah, as soon as May, we'll have the first episode, and then tuloy-tuloy na yan until the grand finals, grand championship.
All
I am
Right.
so looking forward to this. David, thank you
Thank you.
so
Thank you for
much.
having me.
We had
We'll see
such
each other
a
more.
fun
Yes,
show.
yes, that's right. Once again, that was Bilyonaryo Quiz B host David Celdran, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, David.
Thank you. Pretty good.
Oh my goodness.
You guys did well.
Thank